Greetings. Welcome back to part 2 where we're talking about Lot's wife. Now let's read Genesis 19 verse 26. The NIV says, "But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillow of salt." Wow. While studying that scripture, it brings me back to the saying of scripture that says, "And we are the salt of the earth." And that manifested right there in her life. She became a pillow of salt. Let me just break that down in terms, modern terms, where we can understand, and then we flow from there. A pillow is a construction term. In other words, it means structure. It means a column, something that stands still. So the right word there, or the modern word, would have been a statue of salt. And not just a statue. What does a statue represent in modern history? It represents an historical figure, a monument. That was the word I was looking for. A monument, a thing that you should remember. She was not just consumed because the instruction came of the Lord that if you turn back, you will be consumed. But God, in His sovereign power, wanted us to remember, because Jesus said it in Luke, remember Lot's wife. Because she was a statue of monument to be remembered if you walk in disobedience when God showed mercy. Katayaba satayaba. Sodomy has entered the churches in Jamaica. The church that should be preaching light, transforming the darkness of this homosexual agenda. Instead, they are compromised, and now the homosexual agenda is transforming the church. Maskutaya. How can we have that? God showed mercy to Lot and his family. And by a thank you, she stopped in the way. God has shown mercy to Jamaica, and by extent of that gratitude and mercy, we have stopped in the way. And to add to that, she didn't just stop in the way, she turned back, looked back. And that's what we're doing. Oh dear, we have allowed sodomy to enter into the house of God. And by a monument, the sovereign God decided at that instant to make a statue of salt. Salt. We were intended to be salt of the world. Salt of the world. But He put a stillness in her body. She became a statue to remember. A monument to remember. That when God shows mercy, we must walk in obedience and follow the instruction of the Lord. The Lord is saying to us as a nation of Jamaica, remember Lot's wife. They could have been destroyed in the city, but God sent an angel to bring rescue. But instead of thanking God or walking in obedience and alignment, standing upon righteousness, preaching righteousness in spite of the circumstances, in spite of being called out or to be separated, we have compromised by allowing sodomy to enter the nation. And not only that, we that the Lord have shown mercy as spiritual leaders of this nation have stopped in the way and turned back into sodomy. And I'm sending you a warning. Just like Lot's wife, you may just become a monument to be remembered. That God is not to be mocked or to be played with. A pillar of salt. Unmovable. Everything in our body dried up at an instant because of her disobedience. Listen to this, young man. This is a word straight from the throne room of God. Remember Lot's wife. May the Lord bless you and keep you and show you mercy.